Hello, Elite Dangerous Commanders. I am the Void Prophet of Jawal Voldriel's Aztec, and I come bearing a message on how to complete the hard mode tactical takedown operation in under 22 minutes. In this run, I flew with commanders from the Ghost Giraffe Discord, and they had a good balance of on-ship and on-foot combat ability, which is pretty rare in Elite, and that is how I was able to get this run. So the first thing that I do is I launch and I start the timer, and I have my premium set up previously beforehand so that I don't have to go through the menu to do all that. And right at the start I boost and I pitch down so that I can go diagonal, so that I can use my lateral and vertical thrusters in combination with my main thruster to just get a little bit more speed. Every second counts as we're trying to do a speed run, so I try to get out of the mass lock as soon as I can. As soon as I get out, I have to boost and try to time it so that I don't overshoot. This is a decent boost. It could be a little bit longer, but I think I didn't waste any time, at least as much as you could lose in other segments. I do the diagonal boosting thing again to try to get to the station faster. It doesn't increase your top speed, but it does decrease the time it takes to get to your top speed. There's always a big lag spike when you get in here, but you just get straight to the megaship and you submit a docking request and you ignore all the NPCs. It's kind of imperative that your teammates are doing the same thing, because if you get there by yourself, there's a good chance that you can get swarmed. Here I have to go to landing pad 8, so I have to go around the back and kind of ram the pad to get landed quicker. You just disembark as fast as you can, and one thing that I'll do that is kind of interesting is I will get out of my ship and immediately get 4 power regulators. As you see, my FPS has to drop as the netcode thinks of how it's going to handle us doing this operation. One day before the end of the universe, Frontier Developments will address the netcode, but that day is not today, so we are going to have to pray to whatever deity you pray to. Obviously, in my case, it would be Jawal, in order to get the netcode to behave and to treat you well. I find the door is stuck. A trick that you can use is overcharging the door to try to get it open. It doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. And I have the combination of plasma pistol with AR-50. I like this combination a lot. It lets me bring the shields down really quick and then just try to spam headshots. Although the main flaw, or I guess the main weakness of this build, is missing my plasma shots. As you saw there, I missed one. And especially when the FPS goes down with the netcode, you can have some struggles with aiming the plasma pistol. I ran out of AR-50 ammo there and I just bazookaed him at point blank range. So here I'm kind of a little bit faster than my teammates at getting to the download, or at least if they are as fast as me, they took a different route, so I'm kind of on my own. So I'm going to throw a shield grenade. This is suboptimal. You want to save your shield grenades for the download, but I'm kind of forced into this situation. Here I kind of turn off my shield. I don't remember why I pressed this button. It must have just been a misinput. But this NPC is shooting me through the wall, and it's making me kind of freak out. So I have to take out this guy, and then I'm shooting this NPC, and then it just teleports into the... yeah. So I guess it thought it was shooting me from inside when I saw it being outside. So I waste some health there, and I forget to turn on my shield because I didn't realize I turned it off. But the run goes on regardless. The download starts as fast as we can because we're trying to save time. And I immediately check the grenade cases here on the balcony for shield projectors. And here I find 2, so that's nice. I kind of make up for the one that I lost. I'm going to throw a shield grenade here and then just bazooka these guys as they come in through the door. This is really good. an effective way to clear out a lot of enemies at once. This is a nice choke point. I still don't have my shields, so I'm gonna almost die here, which would make me lose my power regulators and also threaten the life of the downloader, so this is suboptimal, but I managed to survive. Here I'm missing my plasmas and my FPS is kind of low. I just decided to run. And here I get some pretty cool shots with the plasma pistol, so it's not all bad. You really have to worry about the snipers with the plasma snipers and then the plasma shotgun people. There are also bazooka NPCs that you should watch out for. Those are like the 3 main threats. Other than the Aphelion NPCs with the laser rifle that can take your shields down pretty quick, but they're not that much of a threat on them or by themselves. They're just a threat in combination with other NPCs since they can take your shield down so fast. The downloader is stuck, unable to refill his ammo, so you have to get your own ammo and really protect the downloader. Also, the downloader should not have a bazooka because you're going to throw shield grenades at him trying to keep him alive, and then he's going to accidentally bazooka himself by shooting a shield grenade, and then that will end your run. So if you're the downloader, do not have a bazooka. Here I make a bad decision. These guys are running and hiding behind the wall, and so I try to rush, but I get the ammo and then I'm getting swarmed and I almost die again. This is suboptimal. You just want to stay inside and let them come to you. I've already used all the health packs, and I already wasted some by having no shield at the start, so this isn't this isn't the greatest situation, but we managed to pull through. And all the type of fighting that you do here, there's not really a more optimal way to do it beyond not dying, because you're stuck on the timer. I think I feel stuck at this point. I get stuck on my my teammate, but it's fine. I think I go running for health packs here and try to find some, but I am unsuccessful. They all seem to be taken up. At the end of this download, I'm going to find some health packs in the room that I didn't notice before. But it'll turn out that I get away with not using them. Just to reiterate, it is important mostly that the downloader doesn't die, obviously, but it's also a bit important that you don't die, because the time it takes to run back and get 4 more power regulators, the download could finish during that time, and then you won't be in the right elevator position. So here we're just clearing out the rest of the NPCs. Make sure not to use a bazooka while you're within the shield, and not to shoot the shield from outside like I just did for a second. That just lowers the health of the shield. Here I try to run to the elevator quickly. I realize I made a wrong turn. I find the health packs, and I waste a little bit of time. So it could be more optimal if I just went right out the door like Disembodigo did. And I eventually figure out that that's what I should be doing. Learning the map is definitely important for getting your runs faster. Here I make another wrong turn, have to turn around, wasting a few more seconds. So I definitely see a sub 20 minute run on the horizon, and I will post one if I manage to accomplish that with this squad. It's important to use these back elevators because they put you in a position on the engineering deck that is right next to the power plant, and you can just all swarm in there. It would be optimal to have would probably be optimal to have all 4 of you swarm into this room, throw shield grenades, and just plant the regulators, and then 2 of them just go off and do the breakers, or maybe all 4 of you. But regardless, we have to get into this room. I think only 2 of us get here through the back, and it's just going to be us versus everyone in this room. So I can see some time being saved in this segment if we had a more coordinated strategy, either all of us going in through the back and then just taking these out more quickly to get the regulators in faster. And then you can just ignore everyone outside of the power room if you go through here anyways. You don't have to open any of those doors, except for the breaker room segment. I'm kind of fighting for my life here. You can see the time to kill with the AR-50 plasma pistol combo is really nice for single targets at range. You can one-shot people with shotguns, for example, and I've done that, but I really feel the more reliable method is to use the AR-50 plasma pistol, because you can do it at range with the shotgun. Even if you get the extended range modification, the fall off is 11 meters, which isn't that great, whereas with the plasma pistol and AR-50 combo, you can shoot them as pretty much as far as you can see them, and it's really convenient. Keeps you safer, and it lets you drop the enemies from a further distance. Here I take all 3 of the energy packs. I was probably a little bit greedy. I should have saved some of that for my teammates, but we're getting through this segment fast enough that it shouldn't make too much of a difference. Some time saving could be done here if we had all gone through the back, and then at least two of us ran out on either side to get the breakers done while we were putting the regulators in. That would be a little bit of a time save, but it turns out to be okay. The run is still pretty fast. That one closes. I don't know if I hit the button twice somehow, but it just closes itself as soon as I open it. And then we run straight back into the power room. We never open this door back here because there's a bunch of NPCs just hiding behind it, and we just don't ever have to worry about them if we just keep that door closed. And I'm just going to end up camping this door. It just has like a small, steady trickle of NPCs, and then they're kind of inconvenient to be up on the balcony to get an angle on them, and so I just end up deciding to camp this. I end up missing this guy way too much, but I get him. There he goes. I don't know how this NPC lost its shield and got next to me when I definitely saw it turn the corner. I don't know if that's the same NPC or not, but it totally just teleported and lost its shield and started shooting me in the side. I've heard people complaining about the AR-50 being wildly inaccurate, and that's just not been my experience. I run it with stability, I run it with increased headshot, fast handling, and stowed reloading, and those combinations is like perfectly fine for accuracy with me. I have this plasma pistol, which I'm just kind of running the one that I use for settlement raiding. It's just got the silencer on it and stowed reloading with fast handling and probably increased magazine if I had to guess. I'm not sure what my fourth mod is on that pistol, but the button's about to be pressed, and so I just decided to go straight to the elevators. I'm not sure if blowing yourself up is faster here after you press the button rather than running back, if you're the person who has to press the button. I guess it depends on your netcode, whether or not you're going to get blessed with a fast respawn or not. So I launch immediately, go to the installation. I have to turn on night vision again. Even if you had turned it on before, it'll just turn itself back off when you dock. It turns out the installation's on the other side of this gas giant, so it's going to be a little bit of a boost timing exercise. I hold on to the boost a little bit too short, and I could have held it for maybe like a split second longer. Like that was okay, but I could have held on to it for a little bit longer because I'm stuck at 16 seconds. That's a good boost. It says 4 seconds, and that might be scary to some of you, but if you just angle out a little bit and then make it say 4 seconds while you're within 0.1 light seconds, then you'll end up being the right speed and the right distance at the same time. So here is the on-ship segment. Some people find this segment to be very difficult. I don't. I guess that's my PvP background. The first thing that I like to do is wait for the easy NPCs to spawn. So right now it's spawning all the Kestrels, Pythons, Cobras, all the new ones. But if you just give it some time, it's going to spawn all the level 1 crooks like this Cobra 4. I take like way too long to kill this thing. For some reason it's like more tanky than it should be. Or maybe I'm just not applying my pellets like I should. Being the first one into the instance, I take the aggro of most of the NPCs, which is one of the reasons why I like to take out the small fry first, so I can just reduce my damage that I'm taking. Look at me taking so many passes to kill a Cobra 4, it's kind of embarrassing. But there it goes. Next I'm gonna try to find some other... There, like this eagle. This little chuddy is gonna go down in a volley probably. Sometimes these Cobra 5s will have drag, and it's really annoying. And that's like maybe one reason to take them out quickly, but I still think that taking out the one volley NPCs is more nice. If I was just a little bit more lined up on that shot, then he would have died, but there he goes. I think I'm boost spamming a little bit more than I should, rather than trying to just get a good range control because I'm excited. This is the fastest run I've done so far, so I was probably boosting a lot to try to get to the targets faster and kill them faster for the run. After you take out the small fry, everyone needs to focus on the same ships when it comes to the new ones, the Pythons, the Corsairs, the Cobras, the Kestrels. Here we're all deciding to murk this Python 2, and it goes down pretty quick. And then we all switch to this Corsair. As you can see, I'm running the feedback hammer multi-cannon build. I've gone through a lot of builds on the Python 2, and ironically, the one that I posted in my original video is very similar to this build, with the hammer and then multi-cannon. I have switched to screening shell. I was convinced since last video that it's better. The meta has kind of proven that. You just get better at range control and then you just do much more damage. These Cobra 5s are pretty tanky. They're kind of tanked like you would in a PvP ship. But they go down anyways. And then we got this Kestrel. Kestrels are the worst, especially for frags. They're just all over the place. They're kind of annoying in that way. If you had a rail conda, that would probably make it a lot easier, but you would also do less damage to the general, so I think for speedrun purposes, pacifiers is better. Anyways, it doesn't matter because we kind of shred this Kestrel. One of us has thermal shock, at least one of us, I think maybe two of us might even have thermal shock, and they keep the Kestrel from boosting. There's the thermal shock lasers. Of course, I do not condone, and Jawal does not approve of gimbaled lasers in any form, but They got the job done in this instance. There's a little tunnel right in front of me. If you ever are in a bad wing and you need to like reboot your shield, or just have someone camp in there while everyone else, wow, I hit that wall, while everyone else comes and respawns or dies or whatever they gotta do because they suck, and they're in these like gimbaled laser corvettes that suck and do no damage, then you can hide in that tunnel. Even a big ship, I've fit a whole Caspian through that tunnel, so you can hide in there, and there's a bunch of bends and it helps you. The general, some people think it's scary. It's not. It can't deal damage to you if you simply stay on its butt and learn how to fly and range control properly. Here it decides to aggro on me for a second, it can't turn, and then it boosts, and it's useless. And then it gives up and it tries to shoot someone else, and it does because that person's not range controlling, but it's fine. He's just dying too fast for it to matter. And he's dead. The generals have prismatic shields with banks, but they don't bank until it's way too late, so it doesn't really matter. I have a feedback hammer just to make sure that his late banks don't help him at all, and he just dies really quick. I tell my team to, well, most of the team knows, but I think one of them hasn't run with us before, so I tell them to lock onto the runner on the nav beacon as soon as it shows up, just so that you can be there. JD Mew here decides to try to kill herself to spawn faster, but it doesn't work. So I think we all just have to land on the front line runner as fast as we can. Throughout this run, a big carry, or I guess a big help, a big huge part of the team is Disemboweled Ego. He's always the downloader, and he's really good at not dying, and that's definitely like a huge contributing factor. And he's also done a lot of research in these operations, and we've theory crafted ways to optimize it. There are definitely ways to get this under 20 minutes. I see that in the near future, but I think this run of under 22 minutes is pretty impressive as it is. I'm counting that from the time that I spawned in to the time that I landed. There's a 1 minute countdown, and of course, if JD Mew had decided to land instead of try to do the blowing yourself up trick, that 1 minute countdown would not be there. And also, you never know how long that stupid countdown is going to take, even if you're all docked, because the netcode might just be misbehaving, or how long the black screen is going to be afterwards. It's just completely up to chance. You just have to praise Brave and buy arcs. And that is the run. So thank you for watching. I definitely think that this is pretty close to a good run, or a very optimal run. There can definitely be ways to improve it, and unless we find some major exploit, I think it's just marginal gains from here. But who knows? If anyone comes up with a faster run or a new method, feel free to post a video and let me know. That is all. Praise Jawal.